Hello, hello. This is take two on trying to fix this Macintosh SC30 number two. I have had terrible luck with SC30s. I've had one SC30 that, well, I got it from a friend who, yeah, it was in terrible shape. He had given up on it. It was terribly battery bombed. It was terribly uh, cap corrosion damaged. And yeah, it's proven hard to fix. Macintosh SC30 number 2 here, acquired yesterday, is in excellent physical conditions, cosmetic condition. Um, it's probably very close to working, but after the initial recap, the system is still booting to CMSMAC, or not booting at all, right? It means that you get the VDRAM garbage on screen, meaning that the CPU is not able to clear the VDRAM, so the ROM is not executed, etc. It means that the logic dies very quickly after boot. It means it's doing something, right? The logic starts to boot and then dies. So it's either very, it could be a faulty chip somewhere, but more likely is probably a corroded trace or via somewhere. That's my immediate guess. Could be a short. It's very unlikely to be a short, I suppose, unless there's an internal short somewhere on the logic board. And so just a heads up, my let's see here, my portable microphone, the clip-on microphone, it was flashing just now. It stopped flashing, and it seems like still picking up my voice, so that's good. I suppose I don't need to worry, but I was just concerned. I don't think I charged them properly recently, so yeah, if they run out of battery, please let me know. Anyhow, so yeah, so the point we got to yesterday, see if we can look at the close-up. So again, apologies for the poor focus. This is not a good camera. Let's see if I turn down the light a little bit. So we cleaned up all of the obvious corrosion underneath all the caps. We installed fresh tantalum caps with the correct values. Yeah, like so. So all the tantalums are in place, and we did clean up a good amount of corroded traces. We tried to mess with the vias a little bit that were clearly corroded. Concern number one, we have not, there is broken traces somewhere that we haven't found. Concern number two is the exposed traces that run underneath these tantalums are shorting out against the tantalum caps pads, right? And that's why this is this cap here is shifted to the side a little bit. Because it was shorting out against the trace. Oh, it's really struggling to focus. So for today, we are going to try and apply this UV mask. This is UV curable solder mask. Misspelled. Chinese manufacturer got the word wrong there. But I'm pretty sure it's mask. It's supposed to be mask. I've never used this before. I got it from a friend of the channel, Brandon. So thanks, Brandon, for getting me this solder mask. So by coating the traces properly under here, we will avoid any kind of shorts happening, this is very important for circuitry, not to be shorted. So I think first of all, actually, so today I'm gonna try and use this for the first time. This is a anti-static strap that I got at some point. Just a moment. I just noticed it says live chat is not available, so I don't know if that means this is not streaming properly. Oh, it says I'm live. That's good. Okay, I refreshed the chat window. Okay, so now I can see the chat. So if you all have, I don't know if anybody is watching me. Oh, it says live viewers 1. So the one person, oh, 2 views it says. Oh, no live viewers. Okay. So anyway, if you left me, if you left chat messages here and I didn't respond, that's because the chat window had gotten stuck somehow. So nice. I'm gonna try and use this anti-static strap. I don't know if I have a good place to clip it onto though. Let's see if it fits. Very stylish, beautiful. There, that's so rad. So you're supposed to put this alligator clip onto something. I think I'm gonna put it on the fume extractor. It sits over here. That might be very noxious. Anyway, we'll try that, see how it goes. Maybe I'll put the fume extractor to the side a little bit. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna start by, well actually the first thing I wanna do, oh man, it's already annoying. So I have this very sad battery bombed SC30 logic board. What this can be useful for sometimes is to it gives you a very clear view of the traces that are running on the top of the board. So for instance, in this case, it can help us identify which traces or which caps have a lot of traces running underneath them. So I know for a fact that C3456 up here, they are particularly affected. So just taking a quick look, actually we can, so viewer discretion, this is a pretty gross board because it's not really cleaned up. Let's bring the microscope out here. There we go. So yeah, this is what it looks like when you don't clean up corrosion. So we have clearly 2 traces running under C4 there. We have 4, 5 traces running under C3. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 traces running under C5. And 1, 2, 3, and almost 4. Yeah, basically 3 traces running under C6. So that cluster needs to be coated with a solder mask for sure. The other cluster we have down. See if I can find it in the right here. C8. There's definitely traces there next to one of the pads that we should be mindful of. C9, traces running under there. C10, a whole bunch of traces. So that cluster, yep, we need to make sure there, and there's some coating happening there too. And let's see here. C2 as well, lots of traces there. Then way down here, C13. To angle this a little bit. It's hard to find. Here we go. So we have 1 trace there to be mindful of. C12. A few traces there. C1. So C1 might be the only cap, because I think I covered all of them. This might be the only cap that we don't need to worry about traces. So yeah, we probably have to just remove all of the other caps and see if there's any more cleanup that needs to be happening, and then coat them. So let's try that. Let's put the oh my gosh, yeah, this is this strap is super annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it unclipped for a little while. There we go. So I'm gonna remove the ROM sim. Put it to the side there. And yeah, let's start with the easy. Let's start with C12. That one right there. So let's bring out the hot air at 350 degrees. Actually, just a moment. Here we go. There she is. Okay, so yeah, that was a little bit probably not necessary to do anything here actually. Now when I look at it, and I should probably remember this from, or looked at the the video or something. But I think this is pretty absolutely minimal. I don't see any corrosion damage here, except for perhaps on the VS a little bit. So yeah, let's put that cap right back. Let's just use the same iron heating up. So let's just remove the solder from one of the pads. Then we add some solder to the. I think this is probably fairly. Oh well, let's just start fresh, just in case. It's always good to just remove old solder, even though it's just a day old. Especially since it's very likely that there is more. There is some whatchamacallit, cap juice floating around on this board somewhere, or everywhere, even. But I'm not going to use flux this time. I think it should be fine to do it without it at this point. Yeah, I can still smell the cap juice burning a little bit there. So it's not, this board needs a full on bath at some point. Check it in the microscope. It's a little bit blown out there. It's hard to see really. Maybe I need to turn down the LED a bit. Maybe that's better. Anyways, the cap is back in place. So the C13 was the next one we should double check. It's down here. I'm pretty sure this was, well, there was some dullness on the diode, I think, on the legs there. But not too bad. Let's check what it looks like again on this one. Yeah, there was that one trace that runs under there. I'm pretty sure that was okay. But let's do it anyways, for the sake of completeness. Always takes a little longer time or in the beginning because the board is completely cold as you work on it and gets warm. There we go. It's easier and easier to do. Oops. In the microscope. So there you got it, C13. So it's pretty clear that this trace here doesn't have any solder mask right now. It's not going to be very risky, just because the pads of the cap lies over here and here, but still, it could be a good place to start. And let's actually get rid of the mask here a little bit. I think this mask is pretty damaged. Inspect. Just do a little bit of IPA just to clean up. Hi, Xenocide. Thanks for joining. I haven't. The only thing I've done so far is to clean up this cap, basically. I took it off, put it back on. We are working on putting some solder mask on the exposed traces. The SE30 does have fuses, yes. It has 3 fuses, I believe. One is right here. One is here. And one is here. These 3 packages. They are fuses. They're marked F1, F2, and F3. That's easy. Why do you ask? Oh, it's the fuses. I can definitely check the fuses. That's a thing. Oh, you can bring out a trusty multimeter. And then we, I guess, test for continuity on these fuses. Yes. 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 Good call. Yes, the easiest solutions are often the best, right? So here is the solder mask. It's UV curable solder masked. So I haven't used this before, but I'm gonna read what it says here on the label. UV curing solder resist is a liquid one-component epoxy group solder resist. It is suitable for repairing mobile phone PCB circuit boards, solder mask exfoliative, and damaged. Also can be used for fixing and insulation during soldering the flex cable. Hi Mitch, thanks for joining. This product is green ink-like liquid with good property of film forming, fast UV curing, speed, strong adhesion, high hardness, 300 degree of heat resistance, electrical insulation and chemical resistance, with 3 times soldering and 10 seconds for each. It will not exfoliate. This product is a necessary item for repairing. Squeeze out some on a piece of paper. Yeah, just to get rid of whatever residue is in the nozzle, I guess. Sure, let's do that. I'm gonna steal the plunger from my other syringe here. So squeeze some out on a piece of paper. Use a toothpick or tweezer to apply to the areas you need. It's way too easy to put too much on. Otherwise, I use my Resign printer 3D curing lamp to curate them. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I am new to this. So let's put it on a piece of paper tissue here. Paper tissue. Do it on the side here. See what it looks like. Resin, right? I wonder if I need to take something out of the. Oh no! Here's the stuff. I wonder if this is just a cap. Yeah, it must be just a cap. Yeah, this can't be squeezed. It's very sturdy plastic, I think. But anyway, it's coming out. So I suppose this is just a cap. And squeeze it out like so. Yeah, so there we have plenty, I think. Once the cap is off, you can squeeze it. Okay, I believe you. So I don't have a toothpick, but I'll just use my trusty tweezers, I guess. So we'll take some of this green stuff, a little bit, and then I guess we paint it onto the trays here, like so. Yep. So maybe I'll show it in the microscope. That's probably the better. There you go. There is some paint. There. And I have here. I have this a USB powered, or a battery powered, I suppose, USB chargeable UV lamp here. It has power, that's good. So I suppose I just apply some UV light in this and see what happens. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. Apply hot air too. Is that a good idea? said what it says 30 seconds or something on the way too slow. 20 30. Oh, okay, my resin curing light is like 2 minutes. Oh, hi Brandon. UV light action. Seconds. This label here doesn't tell you too much what to expect. Huh. So sunlight is better, huh? Well, it's pretty dark and dreary recently here, so that might be hard to arrange, but yeah, so maybe this doesn't make for compelling content. Is it runny? So what happens if, let's see, I'm gonna take one of these cotton buds and cut it up and see what happens if we touch this now. By 1 minute. Yeah, that's right. I can I can mount the UV light, I suppose, on the book. Oh, yeah, that seems fairly solid. Don't know if it's fully cured, but it's definitely not a liquid anymore. And yeah, I guess a little bit of green comes off. Oh no, it doesn't. Yes, a little bit. Yeah, this tiny bit of green that came off the tip there. It's hard to see, but oh, there it is. So maybe just another few seconds. Well, I should probably have, I didn't realize that was gonna be that thick. I should have spread it out a little bit more, because now it may be hard to mount the cap on here. Oh, well, it's probably not gonna work, but let's see, has it made a little mound now? So if the cap goes on, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I guess because there is a little bit of clearance. Oh, look at that. It's not fully cured. No, I don't want to redo. I think this is perfect, almost, maybe. Let's just wash this stuff off. There. Now it's not green anymore. All right, I think that's fairly successful. So let's move on and do the the really tough parts. Actually, let's do the last easy one, which is C2, or maybe not easy per se. Let's see here. Yeah, C2 has plenty exposed traces. Yeah, you're right, Brandon. I'm gonna spread it out better next time. It's a little bit too thick there. Anyway, let's get the hot air out and move C2 out of the way. There she goes. All right, let's remove the solder. Here's C2. So we had plenty of solder mask come off on all of these traces here. And yeah, the legs on this LS166 are fairly dull as well. So you could see how the cap juice kind of spread out like this, right? Caused corrosion. And yeah, there may be some corrosion in the vias here as well, especially in these ones. I'm a little bit suspicious of these vias. So yeah, let's I'm gonna double check that we've got all the corrosion from the traces, and then I'll add some color for that. Yeah, the traces look pretty good. Yeah, so the traces are fine. It's only the VS. I'll make sure, be careful not to put any dye on the VS so that we can keep working on them if needed. But let's get some coating here. So let's see here. I'll use my tweezers again. So the dye I have over here has not cured. That's good. think it's most important to get dye on this trace here, right? Because that's the one that's going to be closest to the pads. And then I'll spread it out with this. Oops, we're getting a dye on the cap pads there. That's not good. Yeah, this tool may be a little bit too crude. I don't have toothpicks. It's not something we use at home, so maybe I need to get some. Let's see if we can just use the other one to wipe the dye off from here. Yeah, yep, it's a good call out that you can offset the caps a bit. That's what I did with one of the caps up there I showed earlier. Yeah, I don't know, this is kind of messy. I don't know if I'm getting thick enough on there. I guess that's fine. Just need to get this stuff away. Oops. Oh no. Okay, so not a good idea to mix the cotton part of these Q-tips with this dye. Enough of that, let's just cure this thing. I bet YouTube is gonna recommend a thumbnail for this video that it's just one of these purple blown up microscope views. Yeah, so if, by the way, while we're waiting, if you see this cap here, yesterday, it caused a short, one of the pads caused a short with exposed trace underneath. So that's when I made it offset to the side a bit. But we're gonna cover up that trace so we don't have to anymore. Even if we were able to avoid that one short, there may be other shorts that we weren't able to notice, because there are a lot of traces that run underneath here. By the way, it's funny, this video is literally one of those watch the paint dry videos, right? See if oh, look at those fibers, they're gonna stick. I don't want to do that. Nope, still not cured. This is cured up here. Yeah, I think it's cured now. Oh, maybe not this thick part here. Okay, but it's good enough. Good enough. Moving on. Let's do the fun part up here. And I think this is the area where I'm also suspicious that there may actually be some broken traces. So we may want to do a little bit of a continuity test while we're up there. Applying heat. There it is. I'm trying not to heat the big capacitor on the side there, so I don't want that to boil and blow up. Just gently try them. Don't want to apply any force. Let's clean up the solder. Wipe off the residue of it. Yeah. So let's see here what we have. This trace here, and this trace here. In this trace, we have a little bit exposed copper here too. So this is where, you know, this is where we could have had shorts yesterday that we didn't notice. This trace here. There's some exposed copper here, I think. And we should be golden, I think. Not too bad. But yeah, this via is iffy. This via is iffy. This one is probably okay. This one is iffy. Those are the main ones that stand out. By the way, before I forget, I mentioned yesterday that the chips that are a bit in kind of crappy shape is, for one, this ASC chip, Apple Sound chip, which has corrosion all around. So for one, there was plenty of green corrosion on these legs here. There's still some green you see here. And the most concerning thing is that, and it's hard to get that on camera, but on every edge, like on this edge here, this edge here, this edge here, there's a kind of green ooze coming out from the seams of the package. So this may be pretty badly damaged inside, potentially, which could be a thing. You know, if it's been damaged internally in a way that causes a, say, short, that could lead to the memory problems we were seeing, maybe. But it may just be not working as well. So I was kind of debating whether to put a little bit of acid on it, like a little bit of vinegar on all around it, just to at least neutralize the stuff that's oozing out of it. But I don't know if it's worth it. The other chip that's in kind of rough shape is this one, UD12. It's a 26LS30, which it says right there. And you can see green ooze coming out over here, and there's also on the other side, I think. Let me double check. Yes, it's on all sides actually. And again, it's hard to see in this microscope, but take my word for it. See if I can angle a little bit. If I do like this and then I change focus. Sorry. It's kind of hard. It really doesn't show up, but there's like little blobs of green stuff on the legs on all sides. So I think one of the next things I could do, you can definitely see the green there, right? Green, green, green coming out of the package. So this is where I may want to desolder these two chips and put some, at least neutralize the visible corrosion. But yeah, anyways, a little bit of a tangent there, but that's what I'm thinking. Let's get this back in focus. But I don't think either of those chips are critical for the circuitry to work, because this is a logic chip for the serial ports, I think. And the sound chip is obviously a sound chip. I don't know if it's serving a secondary purpose other than a sound chip. I mean, maybe it is because it's so large. And we also have the Sony sound chips up here, which I guess are the amplifiers. I'm not sure. Anyways, I should stop yabbering and put some dye on these things, like I promised. Like so. So I'm not gonna try and cover up absolutely everything, but rather focus on what's close to the caps. We want to coat this one. At least over here. So Brandon, thanks again for this dye and the UV light. This is super helpful. Definitely a more thorough job. I used to before I've used nail polish lacquer for the same purpose, but it obviously has the drawback of immediately melting when you apply heat, or being easily wiped off with alcohol, which, you know, pros and cons. It's easy to redo, or to undo rather, your work. And yeah, also nail polish is very noxious and gross. I think that should be enough. Probably remove a little bit of the... It's too thick of a blob here. Yeah, it's fine. Let's cure it. Here we go. Watching paint dry. Let's see if it's starting to cure nicely or not. Can try the thinner. Yeah, seems pretty solid. Maybe up here. Yep, this is also solid. Yeah, this UV light is pretty powerful, it seems. And last but not least, this area down here. Let's get the hot air out and remove the caps. Turn on the fume extractor again. It's getting a bit stuffy. And done. Alright, so clean it. Alright, I should probably have a remove the solder first. Careful not to melt the headers there. Always fun to apply all that heat around plastic parts. All right. So have a look under the microscope. So C8. Oops. The dye is stuck on there. So we have these traces there. We have these traces here that are a little bit exposed, and these traces here that are clearly exposed. That we want to cover up, I think. So let's do that. Down here. Bloop. Oops. It's ugly. So this is a little bit tricky. I don't know if yeah, let's just add a little bit here. I don't wanna, oops, that was more than I intended. Because I don't really want to cover up the vias, just in case I need to work on them. And I think that's enough. I think that's just enough. I can just see if I can pull a little bit of this dye away, like so. And that's way too much. Let's see if we can absorb a little bit of this. Well, it's good enough. Let's cure that. There we go. Turn off the fume extractor for a bit. By the way, while we are waiting, kind of looking closer at the board, there's some. I get the feeling that this is a fairly early SE30 board. For one, we have this beautiful ceramic 68030 package, not the ugly black epoxy thing that they did later. I love this little notch here, or the little mark for the pin 0 up here, pin 1 rather. It's just really charming. And between C9 and C10, yeah, I'll check C9 and C10. All right, let me have a look. C9 and C10. You mean right here? Yeah, I guess there are a lot of, it's a cluster of exposed traces right there. Again, I want to avoid covering up the VS just in case. But good practice. Oops. And perhaps, I mean, as long as you don't leave green, golden copper exposed, it's at least if you put, as long as you put solder on top of the traces, you protect them from oxidation. But yeah, you don't protect from shorting out, I suppose. Oh, yeah, good question. Can we accelerate this SE30 with a faster CPU? I guess I want to fix the computer before I try to accelerate it, but who knows? I don't know. I'm sure there are some limitations to the bus speed or whatever. The clock, this crystal here, controls the CPU speed. It's 31.3344 megahertz crystal. So you have to put in a faster crystal. I mean, twice, because if you want a 40 megahertz system clock, you need 80 megahertz crystal. And then I'm sure there's some other logic that may need modded. So anyways, talking about packages, I'm also really impressed by this video-ROM chip, which is also a beautiful ceramic package. By the way, I wonder if there is there may be an UV erase opening under this sticker. We don't want to put too much UV light there. And then finally, there is a beautiful, a third beautiful ceramic package, one of the PAL chips. This one right here, this AMD chip. This one is a ceramic package for some reason, whereas the other 4 PAL chips are epoxy. Nice and solid. Let's test if it's cured. I think so. Let's get the fiber away. It's cured. The big blob we added last is not fully cured yet, but it's close. Oops. Okay, now it's not stuck. I think that's good enough. All right, so let's try to put the caps back and see how it goes. This will be fun. So let's start with see if I can get. Oops, that's better. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my boom arm. It's not great. Okay, so let's start with the C13. Good thing it's easy to put capacitors on one of these. But for let's see here, just to make sure we get a good. Oh man, it's so bad focus. What are you focusing on? This cable? Let's put some solder sorry, flux paste in each one of these pads, and then we put some solder. Okay, so good news, the dye doesn't seem to melt easily. Oops, oh no. I managed to melt the header a little bit there. It's hard. Oops, that's not good. Yeah, this one, this spot right here is challenging to solder now because there's so much. Yeah, I probably need to offset it a bit, but also some of the dye came off. You can see, so specks of dye, which is concerning. Let's clean it up at least. The dye seems to be mostly intact there, so I guess it's not too bad. Okay, let's offset this cap to the side so it doesn't rest on top of all that dye. Okay. Now we put the one microfarad cap on. Very tight fit. Okay, so Yeah, thanks for watching, Mitch. Good luck with your taxes. Safe driving, Brandon. Hope you have a tasty pizza. So let's check the. So I've soldered one side of all the caps. So let's make sure that those joints are all right, and then we solder the other side. So I see some dye coming off a little bit here and there. Yeah, I see a little bit dye on one of the joints there. Definitely concerning. So maybe this. Oh, thanks, Brandon. Yeah, Bruce is definitely the superstar as far as recapping goes. So I wonder if you need to actually let the dye, let the cure, or like let it sit for a day or so before you actually try to solder something on top of it. I'm not 100% confident that the protection is intact, so to speak. But let's try, see how it goes. In the worst case, we'll have to redo it, you know, third time lucky, perhaps. Okay, let's check the other joints. Joints look okay, I think. Now, the next thing to test is how well this dye holds up to a little bit of a IPA. I think it should, right? Otherwise, it's kind of pointless. Let's get another paper towel. See a little bit of green. Tiny bit of green coming off. I'm really hoping that we still have a good protection against shorts there. Let's check continuity on that one trace that we had trouble with last time. Maybe I can try to demonstrate that under the microscope. Okay. Just to demonstrate what the problem was last time. It's funny how these caps get a little bit scorched by the hot air. It's a little bit disconcerting. So if I recall correctly, we had a short between this joint and the neighboring traces here, right? So it's this via, I suppose. Seems okay. And this trace here, which also seems okay. And we should have continuity with this one here. Yeah, that's okay. Let's I'm gonna validate that against this board. Right. So it's indeed this one right there that we didn't want to have continuity with. Anyways, so I think at this point we should test this thing again. I have about I'm about 99% certain that it still won't work, but we should at least do the test. Let's put the ROM sim back in, like so. And yeah, I soldered that one. Okay. So I'm gonna throw this dye encrusted. Oh crap! I have dye on my desk. That's not good. Oh, it came off. Not too bad. Oh, some down here too. Yeah. And here. Alright, so we have the SC30 set up here. So this is actually the actual machine, the rest of the system that this board came out of, unlike yesterday. Oh, yesterday we used that guy over there on the couch. But today I want to use the real deal. See if we can hook up the speaker. I mean, I don't think it's gonna chime, but let's put the speaker on just in case. So speaker is connected. Interconnection cable is connected. I don't see anything touching. So we should be good to turn this on. So yeah, no chime. And still garbled garbage on the screen. So no change whatsoever. I don't think that this is the problem, right? But it was good to have it done, a cleaner job. I bet it's either, you know, a chip that's failed or a via that's dead somewhere. But anyway, the rest of the machine works. So the CRT is great. The power supply, I opened it up earlier today. It's beautiful, no leaks whatsoever. The analog board is pristine. So yeah, great otherwise. But unfortunately no working machine. And by the way, also this morning I did some swapping around. I did try the socketed chips from my other SC30 in this one just to see if it made a difference. I mean, both of them, or neither of them are working, but it's kind of, I mean, for instance, it seems very unlikely that two 6830 CPUs are dead, so I think we can say fairly safely that it's not the CPU. And I did swap over the PAL chips. I know I've tested the PAL chips from the early machine in yet another working SC30, and they are fine. I also programmed my own PAL chips. I got a programmer recently and tested them. Made no difference. And I tested the video ROM. Same thing. So yeah, I think we're run out of the easy options. And it's probably going to be a matter of A, test continuity around iffy looking areas, and B, start to track down signals using the scope to see what the address lines and data lines say, what kind of signals that we get where, and trace them to their origins to see where things go wrong. And yeah, I think I'll call it here. Thank you very much for watching. It's a pleasure. Thanks you all for your input and help and advice. So see you all next time. Bye.